How's everyone doing out there? This is The Awakening. I am Solican. I want to get into this message for the Lord. Look, I don't want anyone to get offended, but I'm going to give you biblical proof of this. This isn't my words. Women are a liability to men, and they weaken men. Women are a liability to men, and they weaken men. That's just the truth. Now, it's not saying that you have to stay in a weakened state, or if you can't, or as a man, that you should allow yourself to be weakened by women. But that is the case. That is something that happens to men. I can prove it. It's happened in the Bible over and over. Men have nearly lost, some men have lost their lives over this. And some men in the Bible almost lost their salvation. Their salvation with the Lord, their sovereignty with God, they almost lost that by dealing with women. Do you understand? Now, I'm not talking about a blessed union with a righteous woman, but even that will cause some type of, you're going to have some type of weakness as a man for that woman. You're going to, like, more so than if you weren't in that union. Do you understand? And I'm going to give you biblical proof. All right, I'm going to read from the book of 1 Corinthians. This is chapter 7. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Do you see where it starts off there? But listen, like, you got to read the whole Bible. Like, if someone was to read that, that will seem unbearable to them as a man, because that's biological. Do you understand? Some men have a need to be with a woman, a need for sexual contact. That's most human beings. Most human beings have that need. So, but still, this is what it's saying. God's giving you the best. He's giving you the gold standard. Do you understand? Like, it's saying it's good for a man to not touch a woman and keep all his strength. Keep all his resources, keep all of his strength, keep all of his energy for God. That's what it's saying. If you're strong enough to endure that. Most men are not. I'm going to say, even for myself, I'm here, like, the type of person I am made to pair bond with someone. Made to be with, to be with a woman. That's just me. But there's a walk for everyone. And some people, like I said, they can go 100% monk mode. There was a study saying that the happiest man on earth was a monk. Go figure. God really loves irony. But let me continue. It says, it's good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. Let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto his wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto her husband. The wife had not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband had not power of his body, but the wife. So do you see how, like, that's already a power exchange? Like, so you can't don't enter no relationship, marriage, trying to be selfish and be like, it's all about me, because God just told you it's no longer about you. You two belong to each other. You two are net. So now the man, as a man, you can't just go off and do what you want with your penis. You can't do it. So that strength is taken away from you. That power is taken away from you. Do you understand? And again, this is in order to avoid fornication. God's giving you these parameters. It's better for you to be married instead of going around her. The woman is actually protecting you instead of you going around her slinging community penis. And, anything can come from that. HIV, sickness, heartache, all type of things come from that. Broken homes. You understand? So it's still good. It's better for you to get together. But the gold standard will be if you could just avoid women and devote yourself solely to God. How nuns do. You have monks and nuns. Nuns and monks. These, you see Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg. These women totally devote themselves to God. They don't even they'll never be married. These women will never get with a man. These women, that's not them. It's not in them. But do you understand that those women will enter into the kingdom of heaven just like a married woman will enter into the kingdom of heaven? These two women still gonna enter into the kingdom of heaven. But the difference is that the married woman because of her need, and her want and desire for pair bonding, she had to go endure a different walk. She had to endure that walk with her husband. You understand? By giving power to him. And it could go left. Do you understand? She operated on faith in that matter with finding a godly husband, and the man operated on faith by finding a godly woman. But it could have went left, and like Solomon, like a lot of those women, Solomon had many wives, and God still loved Solomon and was still with Solomon. But those women, Solomon compromised a lot for his wives and sacrificed to pagan gods with them. I know, I could just imagine Saul, right, and how men be with their wives, how some of his wives was just, he didn't agree with them, how some of them was just like, nagging so much to where he just gave in to it. That's how men do. And he just gave like, oh, all right, go ahead. I'll go over here, go with you and go worship with Vishnu. But God didn't like that, and God was angry with that. You understand? God, see, Solomon could have compromised his walk with God doing that. Do you understand? God could have punished Saul, in a more severe manner. But see, like I said, God understands the heart. He knows that what's in Saul's heart, and he knows what's in his wife's heart. He had many wives, and some of them were pagans, and they're nagging constantly. You know what it says in the Bible that is in Proverbs, that it's better for a man to dwell in the corner of a housetop than in the house with a nagging wife or a contentious woman. So it's better for him to be in the desert than being around a contentious woman. So God understands that we have to reconcile all those things in the Bible. But a more extreme case, look at my man Samson. Look at what happened to Samson. Samson was a man who was blessed with supernatural abilities by God. Nobody else, not saying nobody else. You had Elijah. You had a lot of people, other people. Moses had, but God was doing those miracles through Moses. Moses was just the figurehead. Samson had the strength himself. Like, God gave Samson superhuman strength, to do superhuman feats. And look at who destroyed him. Who was that? A woman, man. A woman. Why would the Bible tell us this in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Why would God tell you that? Why would the same Bible who tell you that it's not good for man to be alone, the same Bible that I told you in First Corinthians that told you that a man should be with one wife, well, a man should be with his wife, and a wife should get her husband. Every man should have his own wife. Why would it say that? But then tell you that don't give your strength unto women or the ways which destroy kings. So it shows you have to have a certain way you do everything. Now, when you find a good wife, you should be a king. You should have and I mean in spirit and in mentality, and know how to move when you get her, and it should be like lock and key. It shouldn't be any strife and contention. You should, when you get her, but she shouldn't hinder your walk with the Lord. She should help. When you get you a wife, she should increase what you doing with God. So, and also now y'all are fulfilling each other's needs sexually and spiritually and physically. So we're, well, not, not just spiritually, physically you're fulfilling your each other's needs. So now spiritually you two can continue to grow and walk with the Lord. And sometimes a woman can come in and help a man spiritually, like, and vice versa. Sometimes she might not have all the understanding, that she needs to walk with God, and an understanding of certain biblical tenets and stuff, and the man can guide her. The woman can cover the man by, I'm gonna give you Bible verse of not how a woman can be a liability to a man, but how her actions can protect and cover him. She could just could be a woman could be a natural liability to a man in certain times. Like, look at certain times, man, when you had marauders and evil, wicked men on the earth coming invading lands. You having a wicked, a beautiful woman on your arm was a liability, and I'm gonna prove that to you. I'm gonna give you a Bible verse. But again, I just know that verse in Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3, it says, "Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways unto which destroyeth kings." And we go to the book of Judges in chapter 16, and this is Samson. It says, "Samson went to Gaza and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her. Samson is come hither." And it was told to the Gazites, saying that Samson has come hither, and they compassed him in, laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all night, saying, "In the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him." And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city and the two posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, carried them up to the top of the hill that is before Hebron. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. So do you see what Samson is doing? Samson, first of all, this is after, he knows that the strength he has that's given by God. Samson knows. But what is he doing? Samson, first of all, he went into a harlot in Gaza. So while he was in there with the harlot, the people who wanted to kill him, they scoping him out and waiting. That's what I'm telling you, brothers. See, don't put yourself in the devil's field. You could go be trying to go get you a little evil bouquet, and you're going to get you some of that. And you go over into one of these places you don't know, these bad neighborhoods, these places you don't know nothing about. And that's how these women set you up. Look at the rapper Trouble. It's numerous men who've been done like that. That's the most vulnerable position you could be in when your pants are down and you naked. A dude could come out the closet. A guy could come out of the back room. You don't know. You setting yourself up. You going here to these massage parlors and stuff like that and places like that. You going to these strip clubs and seedy places, up in the VIP room. What if they get raided and busted at the time and they just want to come bust you? Now you got a record for prostitution and stupid stuff like you on Figaro or Harry Hines. Oh, you in the club you just go into the club because you want to meet some women, but dudes come in there and decide that they want to act wild and shoot the place up, and you catch a stray bullet to the dome, to the head. You in the devil's field. See, that's why we have to stop being led by, the booty, and stop being led by sexual lust. And and our libido, like as men, like I know that testosterone is strong. That's why us as men, every man needs his own wife. Every woman needs her own husband, period. That's thus saith the Lord. Too many women and men out here, y'all just committing adultery. Y'all just out here, y'all got baby daddies, two baby mamas, and you still out here sleeping and married to and in a relationship with another person. You go get your first baby mama. That's your wife. Go get your second baby. Like, now you got two wives, G. You should be taking care of them. You understand? That's what you got. It is what it is. We really need to start rethinking the things that we've been told here on this earth that are normal. Because it's all the devil is he flips everything that the Lord has for order. He flips it backwards, and it's got for pretty far gone, and it's backwards. Yeah, and you know, you can't before you having all these babies and running. No, these is y'all are married. Like sex is consummated. The bodies are joined when you having sex. Y'all have children. Like stop trying to run away from y'all, you know, and jump to the next and you committing adultery. Just stop. I just want you to know that. So you won't be living in sin. But so before I end this video, women being a liability, I want to give you some proof, biblical proof here. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 26. And there was a famine in the land besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Amalek, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I'll perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven. I will give unto thee thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, and my statutes, and my laws. So, and Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife. And he said, She is my sister. For he feared to say, She is my wife, lest he feared to say, She is my wife, lest the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. This is in the Bible. Anything else we don't have to discuss. This is telling you how a woman can be a liability. Her beauty, liability. Her beauty was a liability in the land he was in. Because he was there by himself, he didn't have much strength. Besides the Lord was sending him out. He was operating on faith. He was operating on the faith of the Lord, and the Lord was his strength. But the men, he didn't have like a backing army. So the men there, he was saying that his thoughts, his smart thoughts was like, well, look, I'm just going to tell him that that's my sister. Because in those times, it wouldn't have been unheard of for those men just to kill him and take the woman, you know, for whoever the leader was there. He'd take her for himself. Kill this man. I don't care about him. But he was smart. He was like, look, I'm going to just tell him that it's my sister. But it just so happened that, you know, the king who took her in happened to be a righteous man, and he feared God. And if he had a touched Isaac's wife, if he had a touched her, if he had a touched her, God would have killed him. Because when you touching a married woman, you have to reap what you sow. It don't matter who, you know, who it is or who you are. Like God, and if you touching somebody who God has his protection over, you can't touch them until God appoints the time. You can't, like the devil can't touch them. You can't touch the devil's people, can't touch them. There's a hedge of protection over them. You're not finna just come violate his wife. So that didn't happen. But I'm just telling you, like, that was not unheard of in the time. That's why Isaac did that. So, hey, just brothers, if it's, you know, just understand the responsibility that comes with having, you know, getting a wife, and the same thing with a woman. Women, understand the responsibility that comes with being a wife. You two are fulfilling each other's need. You two, you know, you two are to fulfill each other's sexual desires. That's what, you know, that's what y'all are there for, and to be each other's help. But your bodies are no longer your own. So women withholding sex, that's not biblical. You could do that for a time and you two come back together. But trying to manipulate a man and withhold sex, no, that's not biblical and all that. So look, I hope, you know, that you learned something. I hope, you know, that this word was, that you got something from this word here. Peace and blessings to the hearers and doers of the Lord's word. A special blessing to those who listen to the end. This is Super Solic, and this is The Awakening. I'm gone.